It often begins as something you might normally applaud. A teenager suddenly decides they want to eat clean, or they commit to a strict new fitness regimen to get in shape for a season. Many parents hold on to a false sense of security during these early stages. They assume that if a harmless phase crosses the line into a dangerous eating disorder, they will easily recognize it because they expect their child to look physically sick. That expectation leaves huge portions of the actual population invisible. Boys, athletes, high-achieving students, and LGBTQ+ youth consistently get missed because they do not fit the traditional, narrow cultural script of who develops an eating disorder. The small circle represents the traditional physical stereotype. The much larger cluster represents atypical anorexia, severe restrictive behaviors without being underweight. This is now the most common presentation. Medical professionals no longer use the scale. Diagnosis is based squarely on the behavioral pattern. Relying on obvious physical proof forces parents to ignore their own intuition. By the time the illness finally becomes visually apparent, the disease is already dangerously advanced. Look at this timeline charting the escalation of a habit. The central question for any parent is knowing exactly where on this line a normal adolescent phase becomes a life-threatening disorder. The defining boundary between the two is extreme behavioral rigidity. Early dietary signs look like a sudden, unprompted commitment to eliminate entire food groups. They will cut out dairy, gluten, meat, or carbs completely, enforcing the rule with absolute strictness and without any medical reason. This diet is quickly accompanied by distinct emotional reactions. You will notice intense anxiety over daily food choices, obsessive calorie counting, and extreme distress if a planned meal suddenly becomes unpredictable. The true danger lies in the psychology behind the routine. The teenager's focus shifts entirely away from health, trapping them in a cycle where they must exert absolute, rigid control over their intake. As the rigidity takes hold, social withdrawal follows. Teenagers will invent new, highly creative excuses to avoid family dinners or social settings, ensuring they can eat alone or long after others have finished. Physical activity stops being joyful. Exercise becomes driven and secretive. They will work out alone in a dark bedroom, push through injuries, or view exercise purely as currency to earn the right to consume food. Meals are followed by immediate, secretive routines. This includes rushing straight to the bathroom after eating, hiding food wrappers in their room, or concealing evidence of purging and laxative use. You will also hear quiet but persistent psychological manifestations. They will frequently body check in mirrors and use intense self-shaming language like fat or too much. These quiet, isolated actions are the actual early warning system. They operate under the guise of healthy habits, keeping the disease perfectly hidden in plain sight. When parents notice these behaviors, they often hesitate. There is a profound fear that asking a child about an eating disorder will somehow plant the idea in their head. You will not give them the idea by asking. The constant ambient pressure of our culture has already introduced it. By asking calmly and with love, you simply give them permission to enter a safe conversation. This line graph charts recovery probability over time. Notice the high plateau during the first 3 years of illness, followed by a sharp decline. Catching these signs early within this 3-year window is the most important factor in achieving full recovery. A parent's gut feeling is the vital catalyst. It is the tool that triggers intervention before that brief window of opportunity closes. If your gut says something is wrong, you can take action tonight. There is a free 2-minute eating concerns screener available at chctherapy.com. It captures behavioral and cognitive risk entirely independent of a child's weight. For those who need immediate support, MentalSpace School offers same-day telehealth intakes. They eliminate the critical waiting periods that stall recovery, connecting families with eating disorder-experienced clinicians across Georgia. The program is fully HIPAA compliant, features culturally matched therapists, and removes all cost barriers. They accept major insurance providers, with Medicaid costing exactly $0. You do not need absolute diagnostic certainty to take a screening or to make a call. You do not need to be 100% sure. You just need to love them enough to look.